Hey everybody, Miniaturist or Wargamer here. I wanted to do a Blacksite Studios terrain review. This is going to be the Northwood Laboratory or the GRAW building. This is part of the Don't Look Back backroom event that they had, and it should be available on their website now. You're going to get a couple of different things with this. This came with the backroom event, but I think it's separate now. But I'll throw it in here just because that's how I got it. So we'll kind of start. You've got the Northwood Laboratory sign. Then you're going to have the little guard stack that they came. This could definitely be glued on. I've left it off just in case I want to move it someplace else. Typical little guard stack. You've got a door right here, and you've got a standard kind of like lock and key roof. Moving on to the big main building, which is actually pretty awesome. You're given two of these. I've actually been toying with putting them right here, and I just haven't decided, so I just kind of left this unglued, but in the photos, they have it glued right here, which is kind of how you see it on the website. The really cool thing about this kit is that you're going to have this really nice red translucent acrylic for the windows. Kind of makes it pop. The only downside is that when it's all stacked up like this, you don't really see it because there's no light. So if you had a little ambient lighting in there, it would definitely pop a whole lot more. So looking at the first floor, pretty standard. You got the elevator shaft in the middle. You're going to have doors on either side. A couple little tips for when you're building this. I would start with assembling your columns. I did some spring clamps on either side. And if you do all your columns, by the time you're ready to put them in, they'll all be glued up and dried. They say that you can use super glue and an accelerator. I use the white PVA glue. I found that if I'm starting to assemble something and I have a little bit of an issue, I have the ability to kind of pry it off and re-glue it. Super glue will tend to just chip and take a big chunk of it. Really cool thing with the windows though, definitely use the white PVA glue. If you use the super glue, you'll get like that kind of haziness over it. The spring clips work really well for right here. You just glue on these bottom sides and then kind of clamp it in place and let it dry. But this is going to be your first floor. You're going to have the columns. You're also going to have the doors and the elevator. Going on to the second floor, pretty open concept. You can kind of do what you want with it. You could definitely make some rooms out of here, just put some equipment. You could turn this into something other than a laboratory, so it's really multifunctional. You also have the elevator shaft here in the middle again. And then for the roof will just fit in right here. And you have your kind of like top elevator shaft. If I was to go back and rebuild this, I might not attach this to the roof and glue it, just to make storing it a little bit easier. You can kind of see that when this thing's all put together, it's quite a tall building. And that just makes, you know, trying to find a bookcase or a shelf to put it on a little difficult. Overall, it's a fun kit though. You can do a lot with it. And then coming into the radio tower that initially came with it, these are all just little extra tidbits that you could put on there. But it's assembled really, it's pretty self-explanatory, honestly. But I think altogether, it looks really good. I'm really kind of excited to play a bunch of different games with this. This would go good for, obviously, Don't Look Back. I think their new game, Breacher, would work really well for. If you're into any sort of zombie game, The Walking Dead, Project Z, County Road Z, this would work really well. Kind of that, like, lab in the middle of the woods, get in there and find some loot. And then if you're playing, like, Spectre Operations, that would probably be another good one that you could do some sort of a tactical vibe with this. So overall, I'd recommend it.